Good afternoon, I'm Gonçalo Peixe and this is your Solent journalism update at 1:30. This morning, people across Southampton paused to remember those who died in World War I. A 2-minute silence was observed when the Civic Centre clock struck 11. And this Sunday, Remembrance Day will be commemorated again after being cancelled last year because of COVID. Southampton Guildhall Square will start a parade at 10:30 with a service at 11. At the War Memorial, those paying respects this morning were glad to be able to. Southampton veteran Ronnie Pym was in the city and stopped to pay his respects.
It commemorates the end of the First World War, and it's where we remember all the soldiers and airmen and sailors that have lost their lives, made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms, and to give people like you the right to do what you do.
Southampton environment campaigner Chris Peckham has told a COP26 conference that more needs to be done to stop the climate crisis. In a video message, he said everyone has a job to do.
We can't rely on our parents if we're children. We can't rely on our families if we're adults. We can't rely on our communities or our countries. We've all got to play a proactive role in this. And singularly, the most important thing that we can all do is, as individuals, recognise that if we empower ourselves to make a difference, that's a good thing. And it's also a synergistic thing when more of us do it. And that's what we've seen here in the fringe events and in those marches where people have taken to the streets. People are disappointed, frustrated, angry, but determined to solve this problem. And when they come together with that collective empowerment, that's where I think our species' greatest strength lies.
On Saturday, protesters in Southampton demanded action on the climate crisis. More than 500 people gathered at the Guildhall for protests, calling politicians to take measures to fight climate change. Today, Southampton City Council has announced its latest moves to do that. Solar panels and energy-saving ideas are being installed at 7 of the council sites, including the Civic Centre. It's estimated this will save almost 200 tons of CO2. But Labour councillor Steve Leggett said the Conservative Council is just doing what his party had started.
I'm pleased they're pushing ahead with it and they haven't stopped it or changed it. The other thing I think it mentions in the press release is the 1.6 million from the public sector decarbonisation scheme. That's something that we got awarded back in January. And because the government are changing how they're funding these types of schemes, and that's the new scheme. So they're basically just regurgitating what we've already done.
Marks & Spencer has started giving employees name badges with pronouns on them. The idea, which is optional, has been welcomed by staff and LGBT charities. We asked the M&S customers their thoughts on the matter.
In their opinion, good for them. If people want to be referred to as a certain pronoun, then fair enough. So them being for that and kind of expressing that and pushing that forward is a good movement. I feel like, yeah, why not?
For Marks and Spencers to encourage pronouns, I think it goes one step further than they should be treading.
Yeah, it's a good idea because I've been in a situation, in quite a few situations where you'll go into a shop and you'll be like, hi, is it he or she does it? She'll be like, is it he or she? And then I'm like, oh my god. You feel awkward, tiara.
Everybody has an opinion. They're allowed to get on with their life in the way they want to get on with their life. I just feel there's certain aspects of the world, life in general has gone crazy. It's hard to understand it now.
Ever thought of being a novelist? If so, now there's a way you can have your own book in the shelves by next month. How? Well, our correspondent Eva Paldamova joins me in the studio to explain how NaNoWriMo can make that happen. Eva, thank you so much for joining me here. Can you tell us a bit more about NaNoWriMo?
So NaNoWriMo is actually an abbreviation for National Novel Writing Month, and that is an abbreviation for National Novel Writing Month, and that is a challenge which involves people writing a novel that is in length 50,000 words or more, and that comes to approximately 1,700 words a day.
That's quite a challenge, I would say. What would the purpose of this be?
So on NaNoWriMo's own site, they say that it's to raise awareness of creative writing, and also it just creates a community for writers and people who like writing who are all helping each other, and it's all around great.
And what advice would you have for the people who want to be a part of this?
So usually I would take part, but this year I haven't, and my advice is to just write. Even if you write something you don't like, you can edit it later, and it's better than having nothing at all. And also for people who are fans of short stories and other forms of creative writing, there's also Camp NaNoWriMo, which is in July and April.
That's great. Thank you so much for being here with us, Eva. Well, now it's up to you. Why not give it a go? Who knows? Maybe the next Dan Brown is listening on that side. And finally, the Christmas market returns to the city centre next Thursday. Last year, it was cancelled due to the pandemic, and sadly, the ice rink will be missing for the second year in a row. That's all from us now. You can find all our stories and more at solentjournalism.co.uk. We'll be back at 3 with our final TV bulletin update for the day.